In this session, I am going to discuss write a program to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius in C++ programming language. So let's get started. So converting Celsius to Fahrenheit using user-defined functions. First type function with arguments and return type. First you need to know to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit what is the logical operation to be performed so that the Celsius user you are going to take and how you are going to convert into Fahrenheit. So the formula to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit is Fahrenheit equal to Celsius into 9 divided by 5 plus 32. This is the formula we are going to use to program in C++. So let's get started. So there are basically four different types of user-defined functions. Function with argument and return type, function with argument but no return type, function with no argument but return type, function with no argument and no return type. So the same program to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit we'll be doing in four different types. So the first type is function with argument and return type. So the function which you are writing, it is going to be taking the arguments and it is going to return the value. So the function syntax in the previous sessions we had discussed what is the syntax for the function. First is return type, then the function name, then the parameters. That's nothing but whatever the user is going to send the data. That's nothing but if you are going to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, Celsius is given by the user, so you are going to take it in the parameter list. And what is the logic you are going to perform, that comes under the body of the function. So let's get started how we are going to program. Function with arguments and return value. Return value I am expecting as float. And function name I am going to give it as parent. Okay, for example I have given, you can give any name for this. I have given parent. Okay, it's going to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, so I am going to give the meaningful name parent. Okay, then in the arguments list it is going to take the arguments, and how many arguments I am expecting from the user. User is going to enter Celsius and that Celsius is going to convert and is going to give Fahrenheit equivalent. So I am expecting only one particular variable to get entered by the user, that's nothing but Celsius. So I am going to take from the user Celsius, I am going to take float value and Celsius. Okay, Celsius, okay, I am going to, okay, fine. Now this is a variable which is going to be taken by the user, and you are going to write the logic inside this. What you are expected the logic here, it is going to return, so you are writing directly return type and return type, you are directly writing, I am just copying this code, I am just writing here Celsius into whatever it is going to be. Okay, that's fine. Celsius, now here Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 3. It is going to do the function when I am calling this parent in my program, then it is taking one particular parameter and it is going to return this logic, and you are going to store it other variable in the main function. So we will just do this program and we will compile the program. So I have written the program outside the main function. The function name is going to be parent and it is going to take one variable, that is Celsius. So how am I going to call this function inside the main? I am going to copy this, I am going to declare before the main and semicolon. Semicolon is nothing but it is going to be the call for that particular function. And now when the particular return type is float, you are going to make it inside the cout. Now before that it is expecting how many variables to get entered by the user? It is expecting one variable. So you are going to make okay, first of all Celsius, you are going to declare the data type float. Celsius, this is a variable and you are expecting Celsius to enter by the user. So you are going to make cout statement enter Celsius. He is going to enter and then you are going to take the value from the user. So console input and Cout equivalent value in Fahrenheit in which variable it is stored. It is going to be calling this particular function. Okay, it is direct function call. So I am writing Fahrenheit. Okay, Fahrenheit. And it is expecting one variable. You can see there is one expected, one variable. Okay, you are expecting the variable. It is going to be entered by the user. So you are just directly passing this variable inside this function. So here, end of the line. Okay, let's run this program. Okay, it is telling to enter the Celsius value. Example, I am entering 30. I am entering 30 equivalent value. It is converted into Fahrenheit. That is going to be equal to 86. 86. When you are going to enter in Celsius, it is going to convert in Fahrenheit. It is going to convert in Fahrenheit. Okay. That's how you are going to program by using function with arguments and return value. Okay, let's go to second one. Let's go to second, and it is going to be function with arguments but no return value. Function with arguments but no return value. It's not expecting the arguments. It's not expecting the arguments. But it's expecting the argument, but it's not expecting the return value. If it's not expecting any return value, then you are going to make the function type as void return type, and the function name I'm going to take it as parent, and it is taking one argument to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, that is the float Celsius. And then what is the logic you want to write here inside the block? What is the expected logic? The expected logic so it's the function with arguments. Okay, arguments is going to be passed and return value is not there. So even the return value is not there, then you are going to make you're making Cout statement. Cout statement, you are telling that, okay, you are telling equivalent, okay, I'm just making it copy paste, okay, equivalent value in Fahrenheit, what is the equivalent value of the Fahrenheit, what is the particular formula I'm expecting, this is the formula I'm expecting, okay, this is the formula I'm expecting, I'm just copying and pasting the logic, okay, this is a logic which is going to get calculated, this is a logic, now see here. Function with argument but no return value. No return value, so I am going to make it as void. With arguments, so I am passing it the arguments list. Okay, as of now I am taking only one argument from the user, that is Celsius, so I had taken it as Celsius. Okay, now with no return value. Okay, before what you had done? You have written directly return the particular logic. Now what you are doing? Here, Cout you are taking. And equivalent value in Fahrenheit, you are directly converting the logic here, and it is going to show at the console output. So let's run this program. Okay, Celsius, okay, fine. Now the function name you have given it as parent, and you are taking one argument Celsius, and you are directly converting that particular Celsius to Fahrenheit in one line. Okay, see here. In C or directly the logic you have written it here. Okay, it is going to convert and it is going to give whenever the particular function parent is called. Okay, at this time the Cout is not needed. Cout is not needed because directly you have written Cout inside the function. So what you need here, you need to directly call this one. Directly call this one. So parent inside the brackets, I'm expecting one variable to be entered by the user, that is Celsius. That is Celsius. So I'm entering the particular variable Celsius inside the function. And now you are going to declare the same type. There's nothing but whatever you have written, the particular type, return type as void, you are writing here the same type. No return value inside this. Okay. Now with arguments and no return function with arguments, there's nothing but here you have the arguments list inside the function, and the function is not returning any value. So you are making the function return type as void. So when you are directly writing the function here, directly declare the same type here. Here you are calling the function, and you are going to call inside the main function with the function name and the variable which are going to pass inside the function. Let's run this program. So it is going to expect the Celsius. It is going to expect the Celsius, and it is going to convert into equivalent Fahrenheit value. So when I am entering 21 degrees Celsius, it is going to convert into equivalent Fahrenheit 69.8. 69.8 it is returning. Okay, now let's do one more. Now what's the next one here? The next one is function with no arguments but return value. Function with no arguments but return value. So how you are going to do this one? Function with no arguments is here, you don't have any arguments here, but return type is there. Return type is there. So you are going to make it as float. And you are writing it as parent as a function name. As you don't have any arguments, you are not passing any arguments inside the brackets. If it has the arguments, you are passing it inside the brackets. If you are not passing anything inside the argument, so it is expecting the user to enter console input inside the function. So console input, before giving this one, better declare float Celsius. This is the variable of Celsius, is a floating type, and you are going to make the user to enter the Celsius. So you are telling to the user enter Celsius, so that it is going to convert and it is going to give. Okay. Now in console input, you are taking Celsius now. And then it has the return type. Then what's the logic for this particular Celsius to Fahrenheit? This is the logic. So I'm directly copying and pasting the logic here. So whenever this particular function is called, at that time it is going to perform this particular logic and it is going to be given. So let's copy this code and let's do in the compiler. Now here I have just copied and pasted, but nothing but here you have the return type. But here you don't have any arguments. Inside this. This is nothing but no arguments, but it has the return type. So I am making the variable as Celsius, and it is I am making the console output to appear this particular statement, and I am taking the Celsius from the user, and it is going to convert and it is returning whenever this function is called. At that time I am going to return this particular value to the user whenever the function is called. Okay. Then declaration part also try to make the same return type and the function arguments list. Then you are going to put it semicolon. That's nothing but this is a function call. Okay. Then it is going to return the value. So you are going to make okay. Now you are going to pass the Celsius. Inside this function. Directly it is going to return the value. So you are writing console output equivalent value in Fahrenheit. You are going to show it in the console output. Okay. Then how you are going to call this function? You are going to call this function here. That's all. Okay. Let's run this program. So it is expecting Celsius to get entered by the user and it is going to return the equivalent Fahrenheit value. So I am going to enter 40 degrees Celsius. It is going to convert into equivalent Fahrenheit value. Okay. Then this is the third type of user defined function. Then let's go to next one. Function with argument and no return value. Function with argument and no return value. So function is going to have void as the return type. Okay, function name I am going to give parent. It don't have any arguments or not passing any arguments. So what's the expected body? Here I am going to take the console input and console output because I am going to take console input here because I don't have the arguments inside the function. I am going to take console output because I am not going to return anything. So let's get started with this. Float Celsius, then cout statement, enter Celsius. He is going to enter the Celsius and you are going to give it to equivalent Fahrenheit value. Okay. Now you are going to make the console input to take the value of the Celsius and then here you are going to return the value. Here you are going to return the value console output. Here whatever the logic you are expected, the logic which you are expected here, you are going to write it in this particular line. Okay, whatever you are expected here, that expected line is going to come here. You can see here. Console output equivalent value in Fahrenheit. In equivalent value in Fahrenheit, this is a logic, and after executing this line, end line. That's nothing but end of the line. That's the end of the line. Okay, let's run this program. Here I am going to make this user defined function as no arguments and no return type. No arguments and no return type. So I am going to enter the Celsius. I am making the user to enter the Celsius and then this is a variable which is going to store the Celsius value, and whenever this function is called, it is going to call this particular cout statement. So how you are going to call in the main? How you are going to call in the main? You are going to call directly by the function name, directly calling by the function name. So it's going to give the equivalent Fahrenheit value. So make this function declaration also same as the arguments and the return type. So directly put it here and make the semicolon. This is nothing but function call. It is a function call. Let's run this program. It will be expecting the Celsius value. And it is going to convert into equivalent Fahrenheit. So I am going to give 300 degrees Celsius. It is going to give 572 as the equivalent Fahrenheit value. That's how you are going to program using 4 different types of user defined functions. First is going to be function with arguments and return value. Arguments you are passing and you have the return type as float. Second is function with arguments but no return value. Function with arguments but no return value, you are taking it as void. Then you have a function with no arguments but return type. No arguments, you are not passing any arguments, but it has a return type as float. Then you have last one, function with no arguments and no return value. Function with no arguments and no return value. You are not passing any arguments inside the function and it has the return type as void. It has no return type. When it has no return type, you are making the function as void. Now you will be converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. The formula which is going to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius equal to 5.0 by 9.0 into Fahrenheit minus 32. That's the logic you are going to use to perform this particular Fahrenheit to Celsius calculation. So let's get started with these 4 types of user defined functions. So the first type is function with arguments and return value. So function with arguments and return value. Before we had done how we are going to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Now we are going to do vice versa. Okay, now previously whatever you had done, I'm just making the changes in the same file. So here I'm taking it as Fahrenheit before. Now I'm converting it to Celsius, so I'm making it as Celsius. Okay. Then now you are expecting Fahrenheit value. So I am going to take Fahrenheit variable. Now the variable which is going to be passed is of which type? Is going to be a floating type. The resultant also you can expect the floating value. Now what is the formula to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius? This is the formula to convert the Fahrenheit to Celsius. So you are going to type it same. Okay, now let's execute this program. After the main function, I am writing the function name as Celsius, and I am taking one value, that's Fahrenheit value, and I am going to perform this logic and going to return. Okay, now let's take a variable, Fahrenheit variable, which is a float value, Fahrenheit. Okay, let me take the variable. Okay, then here I am going to expect the Fahrenheit value to be entered by the user. Enter. I am going to enter the Fahrenheit value to get entered by the user. Then here I am going to take the value from the user console input. Here I am going to take the Fahrenheit variable here. Then here you are going to expect the value return back is there. Return back is there. So you are going to make cout equivalent value in Celsius. So he is going to enter Fahrenheit, and you are going to convert this logic into Celsius. This is going to convert into Celsius and is going to give the value. Okay. Now here, then Celsius function is called. Celsius function is called here. And here you are expected one value you are expected. So you are going to write it here. And you have written the function. So you are going to declare the function before the main. As you are calling the function, use the semicolon. Now try to give the value which the particular value is going to be entered by the user. He is going to enter the Fahrenheit, and you are going to give the equivalent in the Celsius. So let me give 212 Fahrenheit value. Now it is going to convert into Celsius, and it is giving 100 as the Celsius. Equivalent 212 equivalent is 100 degrees Celsius. So that's how you are going to program. Let's do the next one. Next one is function with arguments but no return value. Function with arguments. So you are going to expect the Fahrenheit value, and it is going to convert into Celsius. And you are going to expect the equivalent Fahrenheit value we had written before. You are going to make it as Celsius now, and the formula is going to be changed. The formula is this one. Okay, this is the one. This is the formula. So I am just putting it here. So it is going to calculate and it is going to give. Okay, that's going to change. Okay, let's copy this one and just run in the simulator. Let's run in the compiler. Okay, void Celsius is the function name you have given, and it is expecting one variable. Okay, okay, this is a function value. Then let's declare the same. Semicolon here. Now it is expecting one variable, that is Cin is expected. Now cout is not needed. Because you have written here equivalent value in Celsius. Okay, now just try to call the function. Celsius, and it is expecting one variable Fahrenheit. That's all. Okay, that's the only change you are going to make in this program. Let's run this program. So it is asking for the user to enter the Fahrenheit value so that it is going to convert into equivalent Celsius. So 122 is entered and it is going to return 50 and Celsius. So that's how you are going to program with arguments and no return type. No return type because you have used it as void here. You have used it as void here. So it is no return type. Okay, let's go to next one. Let's go to next one. Function with arguments. Function with arguments. Function with no arguments and return value. Function with no arguments and return value. So function is not going to have any return value. So you are going to make it as void, and it is having no arguments. It's not having any arguments. So when it's not having any arguments, you are directly taking the value from the user. Okay, you are directly taking the value from the user. The function name I am writing it as Celsius. So it is taking the value from the user, Fahrenheit value it is taking, and it is asking for the Fahrenheit value. Okay, enter Fahrenheit value. So the value is going to be entered by the user, Fahrenheit, and the equivalent logic, whatever the logic is there, you are going to write the logic. This is the logic to convert Fahrenheit value to Celsius. So directly writing the value here. Logic to be performed. Let's run this code. You should know what are the changes I am going to make. Okay, in detail I have explained when I was doing the previous sessions. So void, whenever it is not returning anything, it is written as void. Now it is going to perform the function Celsius. It is not expecting any value, so I have written here. Okay, now here you are going to take the value from the user, Fahrenheit value, and you are going to return this particular value. Okay. Directly call this function. Okay, here make the changes here, call the function. Here you are not returning any value. See here, it's not returning any value here. If the value is there, float it is there. Okay, return value is there. Sorry, return value is there, so you are making it as float. Return value is there, so float. If it's not returning anything, you are making it as void. Okay, float. Okay, float. Now see here, the function declaration time also you are going to make it same, float. Okay, now see here. Now it is returning something. It's going to return something. So it is you are going to make this particular variable. Already it is given cout equivalent value in Celsius. Okay, you are going to show it. Okay, now here you are directly calling Celsius function. So it is going to give the Celsius function. Okay, before that ENDL end of the line. Okay, let's run this one. So it is asking enter the Fahrenheit value so that it can give the equivalent Celsius. So I have entered 194 I have entered equivalent. It is going to convert into centigrade. It's going to be 90 degrees centigrade. Okay. Okay, now this is how you are going to perform a function with no arguments, nothing is there, and return value, it is going to return the value in floating type. Okay, floating type. Now let's go with the next one. Function with no arguments, nothing is there. I am just changing the function name Celsius. You are going to take the Fahrenheit, and you are getting the user to enter Fahrenheit value, and you are taking the value from the user Fahrenheit. Okay, now equivalent value in centigrade, it's going to be in Celsius. Equivalent value in Celsius, it's going to be of what logic? It's going to take this logic. Let's copy paste the logic here. Okay, now let us run this program in the compiler. So what it's going to show with the function function with no arguments and return value. Okay. Okay, let's make the change here. Okay, now see here. This is function with no arguments and no return value. Function with no arguments, no return value. It don't have any arguments, no return value. So directly declare the function type. Okay, that's all. Now see here, it's not returning anything, it don't have any arguments also. See in, see out in here, the body of the function itself. Then how you are going to call inside the main function? How you are going to call inside the main function? Directly function name with the open brackets. Okay, now close the brackets. It does not require any variable inside because it is no return, it's no arguments. Okay, it is not returning anything. You have written it as void. Let's run this program. Okay, I'm going to enter 176 for example in Fahrenheit. It is going to convert into equivalent centigrade. Okay, Celsius is going to convert as 80. That's how you are going to perform. Okay, let me review once again what we had done. We are writing the program to convert Fahrenheit to centigrade. Okay. Now what is the formula to convert Fahrenheit to centigrade? This is the formula 5.0 by 9.0 into Fahrenheit minus 32. This is the formula we are going to use. How we are going to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. So there are four different types of user-defined functions. So first type is function with arguments and return type. Return type you are expecting in floating value. You have given it as variable Fahrenheit, which is going to be entered by the user, and then you are going to return the value in floating type. Then second one, function with argument but no return value. Function with argument, you are having the arguments inside but you are not returning anything, you are written it's void. Whenever you are not returning anything, you are writing console output statement inside the body of the function. Third, you have function with no arguments but return value. Here you don't have any arguments inside this. So you are going to make the variable inside console input. You are taking the value from the user inside the body. Then how you have the return value. Return value is nothing but here you have the floating as a return type. So return, you are going to return this particular function, return this particular logic. Okay. Now the fourth type is function with no arguments and no return value. So here you are making it as void and you are not taking any arguments. Okay, the console input and console output is going to appear in the body of the function. So this is how you are going to calculate Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius using user-defined functions.